My name is Vernisha Jones, and I'm the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And we believe that we are the solution to the issues in our community. Our theme is Nothing With Us, Without Us. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is sponsored by Fathers Who Care, which is a nonprofit organization located on the west side of Chicago within the West Garfield Park community. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is comprised of young people from our community whose focus and concern is youth leadership and having a voice within the community. We invite people from all over, especially our young people, to come in and see what we are all about. Our show can be scheduled every Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. You can also view us online at www.cantv.org/live. Again, that is www.cantv.org/live. Well, hey, Mr. Gregory. How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
Thank you so much. I'm doing pretty well. Thank you so much for being a guest on my show tonight.
Happy to be here.
No problem. Thank you. Your work is deeply rooted in the community and connection, especially here on the West Side. So I want to allow our guests to get to know you as a person, get to know what you're doing in the community, and just us to talk about how we could better engage and help our community as one.
I'm with it.
You ready with that?
Let's get it.
So the first question I have for you, you mentioned your roots in the Garfield Park run deep when I read your bio. What does this community personally mean to you? Actually, wait. We're gonna start that off.
Sure.
Can you tell everyone who is Gregory Matthews? Because I know, but y'all don't know.
That's a deep question. I don't know how to answer that one. I was prepared for the regular one. Who am I?
Yes.
Well, I'm the son of two West Siders.
Okay.
Let's start there. Okay. I grew up on the West Side, but my parents are actually from Garfield Park. They moved to Broadview when I was very young. So what I am is a product of a large family, beautiful family. And I am a product of a lot of love. So when asked the question, who am I have to say I am the product of the people who raised me and the people who made me who I am today. Yeah, so I'm proud of that because I'm proud of them.
Okay, I love to hear it. And also, can you tell the viewers watching what organization are you coming from?
Well, I am currently blessed to be the community engagement manager for the Garfield Park Rite to Wellness Collaborative.
Okay. And so now we can get back into our questions that
Gotcha.
you was prepared for, okay? You mentioned your roots in the Garfield Park Run Deep. What does community personally mean to you? I know you say your family is from the West Side and stuff. What does it mean to you when you hear the word community?
It kind of brings me back to my first answer. It touches on how the feeling you feel when you're a child and you go outside and you feel safe just being in front of your house or on your block. You don't know danger, or all the people you see are your friends or family of your friends. The familiarity, even the people you don't know, you don't have any fear from them because you're in a community or a space that you know you're safe. You run down to your park or to your gas station or the store, as we call it. Once you have that type of relationship and feeling with your community, that's what it means to me. That's how I was raised. That's how I felt every day. I was raised on 25th Street in Broadview, right next to Westchester. I went to Schroeder Park on my bike. I never thought, we used to go to the zoo for fun, and it was far, right? So as kids, we did that. So I think of community as a safe space that children can be raised. Yeah.
I agree with that too. Like I'm still kind of young, but growing up, I was raised to where, like you said, you live on a block where everybody on the block know each other. The parent next door could tell you what not to do and what to do, and it was always family. It wasn't like how it is now, where you can't even tell a child what to do without it being issues, and like you said, being able to go places without having your parents have to worry about anything going on. So I definitely remember growing up in that type of community, and it felt like love.
Yeah.
Like it definitely felt like love, and I feel like that's a place that we got to get back to.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like that's a place that we
100%.
definitely got to get back to. So how did growing up connected to the West Side shape the way you see youth and community today?
Before I started to do this work, as I said, my parents moved to Broadview, and then we moved even farther. Um, so before I started to do this work,
And you wanted to come back? Okay.
that kind of leads to that answer. It's like
Okay.
when I came back to this neighborhood for different reasons, not really knowing that I was so connected to it. I didn't know as a child. I'm just growing up, right? I don't know how close I am to the West Side. I didn't know my parents went to Westinghouse, met at Westinghouse. I didn't know that. I didn't even know what Westinghouse was. You know, they moved me away. The high school that I wanted to go to was Proviso. That's what I was looking forward to going to. So when I actually had to move away, I was disappointed because I didn't get to go to Proviso West. You know, I was very upset.
Yeah, you know when you were in grammar school and you thinking about them high school, that'd be a different type of.
I was highly upset. I went through a little phase of depression when I didn't get to go to Proviso West, but it was all right. It was all good. But yeah, when I think of children today and community today, and I look at them and I see the blight that they live in, I talk to them and hear the situations and the stories that they have to deal with. The unnecessary situations that they have to know about. Children in the suburbs and in nicer areas don't even know what kids in the city know. They don't have to be aware. Their head doesn't have to be on a swivel at all times. They don't have to be watching out for people. That's something that I see youth in our communities have to deal with, and that's a burden. It's stressful. It's taxing. And it takes a toll out of someone. It makes you a stronger person, for sure. But at the same time, it's something that we as adults are responsible for taking the onus of, taking that off of them. And when I think of children in communities today, I think of my job in creating an environment that I had, and doing everything that I can to create that environment for them.
Okay. And so I heard that you was once in marketing and branding. What made you transition into community work? Like, was that a hard transition? Like, was it something that happened in your life that caused you to want to go into that type of work? Moving from?
Yes.
Do you care to share?
Oh, it's perfectly okay. It's I was raised very religious. I was actually raised as a Jehovah's Witness at Foundation. I no longer practice, but that was how I was raised. God has always been a foundation of my thinking and how I move, and that moral code that you have in your conscience, that Bible-trained conscience, is just you have it or you don't, right? And if you're raised in the church, if you're raised around it, you understand what that means. So this work, it became obvious to me through my introduction to the neighborhood. That it really wasn't my choice to come do this work. It didn't have anything to do with me.
And that make it even better.
It really didn't. It was just something that, and because as you stated, there were some things going on in my life at the time that were sending me through transition. And if you were raised religious, you understand that moments of transition are actually moments of power. You're supposed to be paying attention at those times. You should be focused on what he really wants from you in those moments. And my career was, this is not what I wanted it to be, and I was really, really in a place of limbo, and I was looking, and I was searching for what it was I wanted. Some friends of mine, some very, very close people that I trust, some brothers of mine, invited me to the West Side to come do some marketing, some things that I thought that I was good at, some branding, and that's what I thought I was coming here to do. And he very quickly let me know that is not what he brought me here to do. Yeah. And it was because of the children and the kids that I saw on the block, and the blight that I saw, and the community needs that I saw, that drew me to the work. And then when I saw opportunity to do it, it wasn't about will you, it was about, oh, this is what he wanted me. Okay. And so I just started. And to be honest, when I first started, it was for free. It was no money involved. I just stopped doing what I was doing and started doing this because I saw what he wanted me to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's always a blessing. Do you have kids?
I have 4 children. Yeah.
Okay. So do they like follow in the path a little bit when it comes to the work?
When it comes to this work,
Yeah.
no, my children live like they grew up. They're growing up the way I grew up in a very safe environment.
Okay.
All of my children have grown up, thank God, in an environment, in a space that they don't know loss or lack. They don't. I was blessed enough to be in a position to come back to this neighborhood and do what I feel is necessary to do to repair it to the state that my parents left it. The reason they left was because of the loss of Dr. King and things that had happened in the 70s. And we never recovered from those things. So that's kind of why I'm here with the collaborative now.
Okay. I love to hear, and I love to hear the fact that you willing to do this work without even the pay. That's when you know the people, like when people are really doing it because it's something that they want to do versus something because it got a price tag behind it. So I definitely appreciate hearing that. And just appreciate all the work that you're doing on the west side of Chicago. Seriously. So for the people who may not be familiar, what is the Garfield Park Rite to Wellness Collaborative and what impact does it have? And like, for the most part, what is it?
The collaborative is not, it sounds long, but it is not complicated at all. Essentially, it was a conversation between neighbors, church leaders, stakeholders in the community, people who, friends, they all wanted to change what Garfield Park was becoming, right? Okay. So they knew what it used to be, and they wanted to make it into something back what it was, which is what the word Sankofa actually represents. The African word Sankofa is what it meant. It means to reach back and return to what we know. This group of neighbors, individuals, stakeholders, church members, they formed a coalition in 2019. They named it. There were some other powerful people in that group as well. There was some doctors from Rush and some other people who were part of the transformation of what we wanted to happen in the community. Those individuals worked tirelessly, day and night, to galvanize, which is one of the hardest things it is to do in community work, is to get community members to work together. Yeah. Very, very difficult to do it. But we're still working on it. It is I think that's easy. One of the biggest problems we might have. It is not easy because a lot of people have different viewpoints about where we should get money and how we should do things. Because as I stated, God first brought me here and I did it for no charge. But he soon blessed me with the opportunity to work in this space because everybody has to eat and everybody has to go to work. You cannot survive and live in this world without some type of means. Even if you want to do the work for free, you have to have means to do it. So one of the issues in our community and one of the things that the collaborative does is it galvanizes resources. So you have, we spell the word right, R-I-T-E. The reason the collaborative exists is because we believe every member of Garfield Park has a right to wellness. It is not something that we as an option. It's their right. In this community, it is our tireless task to fulfill that wellness right. And we do it through several means. We do it through the quality of life plan that we are tasked to work on right now for the west side of Garfield Park. We are honored to be the organization that galvanizes all organizations that are doing any positive work in the community, organize them in a way so that we can put their thoughts into this quality of life plan so that we can execute it and get things done on our side of the park the way, much like some of you may see other organizations are doing on the east side of the park, right? There's still a lot of work to be done there, but there are a lot of good organizations like Breakthrough who are over there working hard to make that happen. Well, Breakthrough exists because of a quality of life plan. So our quality of life plan on the west side of the park is going to be comprehensive, it's going to be thorough, and it's going to be from the community, by the community. We're going to have this. The wellness center is not the last thing we're building, so we got a lot of stuff in the works.
In the works.
Yes,
Okay.
a lot of stuff in the
Okay.
works.
And so, as you are the community engagement manager, what does a day to day look like for you? I know it's busy, meetings and.
A lot of meetings. That's a lot of meetings. But I do actually try to structure my day. I do.
Okay.
My day is a lot different in the winter than it is in the summer. In the summertime, I'm organizing and helping to plan a lot of events. One of my jobs is I actually am a liaison for the city. So I work a lot with the mayor's office of community safety. They call them the MOX team. So I work with that team. What that team specifically does is it works with the neighborhoods in our community who do not have the same resources as the other neighborhoods. There are about 15 target communities that the mayor focuses on to try and pour resources into those communities that the other communities don't need. So in Garfield Park, if you're doing an event, if you're doing a festival, I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to get to everyone and get tables, chairs, porta potties, anything that you need resource-wise that the city can provide. We do our best to help provide that for community groups. Block parties. If you need if the city sanitation isn't cleaning up fast enough on your block, or if the grass isn't getting cut in these lots that the city owns fast enough, things of that nature. Part of my day is actually doing infrastructure work, where I go around and I actually get the city, for lack
Back
of a
in
better
order.
term, off
Yeah.
their behind
Yeah.
to get certain things done in our community. There's a lot of folks in the West Side may notice that a lot of the street signs got fixed, like that were getting broken and bent over. Yeah, we worked on that. We do a lot to cover the graffiti that pops up. And we do our best with the streets. Not all of our streets are so smooth, but we do our best. I do my best in reporting what's the worst so that we can get stuff paved, repaved, and redone, just like they do in the other parts of the city. So yeah, that's some of what I do day to day. And I
Do you
try
get
to
some rest?
organize it.
Do you ever get rest? Like any type of rest?
Yes, ma'am. I try to work on that too.
Okay, you gotta make sure you have it balanced.
I
Make
work
sure
on
you
it.
getting your rest, okay?
Yes, I work
So
on it.
your focus on communication. Why is communication so important when it comes to community change? What do you feel like that play? Like what type of part do you feel like that play when it comes to completely changing?
I believe that the difference between the black community and the other communities is communication. Other communities have better resources, they're more galvanized, they take care of their towns better than us because of their communication. And every one of these different cultures, they have a different way of communicating with each other that's universal. Usually it's because they literally have their own language. That form of communication is usually what galvanizes them as a culture, and they can use it as a thing that you don't have that they do. We don't really have that. Traditionally, we don't have that. We are one language that we all speak that no one else knows. Our communication is usually fractured because of the media and other things that intentionally fracture us, and we allow it as a culture. And those things make it very difficult for us to unite when it comes to certain things that we need to get done in our community, like cleaning up the street, something we all agree on, something we all would want. Yet hundreds of us daily throw garbage out of our car onto the street. If you were to ask that individual 5 minutes after they did it, wouldn't you want clean streets? They would say yes. But they just contributed to the dirty street.
Yeah.
We don't have communication amongst ourselves that's effective because we don't all do things that we all want done. So with better communication, I feel that we would have a better community.
Okay. And like I told you, didn't I tell you about the time?
I'm talking too much.
No. No, how the time goes so fast and we haven't even got through half of the questions. So now, as you clearly see, this is the West Garfield Park Youth Council. I want to get a little bit into some young people stuff,
Let's
you
do
know?
it. That's the most important
So,
part.
speaking of our young people,
Yes.
to you, in your opinion, what is the state of the young people in Chicago in general? Not just the West, not just the South, but what do you feel like is the state of young people on the West Side, in Chicago in general?
When I think of our young people, the only word that really pops into my head quickly is resilience. They are the most resilient group that I have ever seen.
Creative.
Our youth
Yeah.
are extraordinary. They are spectacular. There's not enough definition words to explain what our youth are capable of and what I've seen them do, even in the situations that we as adults put them in. I've learned from several community members who used to live a life that's different than the one they're living now, who take responsibility for our neighborhood, and they take responsibility for what our youth are going through. I try very hard to model myself after that type of behavior, because when I see and I hear and I talk to our youth, they are so full of ideas. They have so much to say. They are the answer to our problem. And us listening to them is the medicine that we all need to take daily. Yeah.
I feel like that's all you really need to say, because I feel like when I talk to, that's one of the main things that we talk about, especially when I have young people come on here as well, where it's like we ask them what it is that they want, what it is that they feel like they need. All our young people really want is for somebody to listen to them, for them to know that their opinion really matters and that they have a voice within the decisions that are being made for them. And so hearing you say that, is there any way that young people can be involved, volunteer, or like do you guys have any type of youth like programs or anything for young
I
people?
love that. So, inside the brand new Sankofa Wellness Center,
And where is this?
4305 West Madison.
Okay.
Okay. There is a huge target on the youth. Right now, you can come into the Y. There's open court basketball going on right now.
Okay.
But there is going to be a ton of youth-focused services. And now we're just getting started at the center, so there's a lot of stuff that's still being planned and still in the works. But I encourage every young person to walk into that building, 4305 Madison. Walk in there, get familiar, sign up with the Y, get your membership. It's only like $18 a month. And
they got a gym and stuff?
Yes, they have a full gym, athletic center. One of the best that the Y has in the state is in our right here in Garfield Park. State of the art workout equipment. There's a yoga studio, place for you to stretch, and there is even a space for you to bring your kids while you're working out. So there is a.
And you know, it's always that type of help needed for our parents. Okay.
There's a walking track. For seniors and folks who want to get in there and just get some movement going. It's everything in there. But specifically for our youth, there's a place you can play. Place you can go in there and have some fun and be safe. And when the programming gets started from the Y and other organizations, now we have Rush that's in the building. We have Equal Hope that's in the building. We have Erie that's in the building. And of course ourselves, the Garfield Park Rite to Wellness Collaborative. We're all going to be having programming. Now most of that actual programming is going to be happening at a place a lot of you may already be familiar with. It's going to be down at the skate park, which is in Madison and Pulaski, right next to the Snipes there.
Okay.
That is a Chicago Chicago Park District park, but it is going to be open to the residents of Garfield Park for free skating. We're going to be doing activations in there during the week. You're going to see a schedule very soon, and you're going to just love coming down to the skate park. All the tenants of the building are going to be doing activations and doing resource giving in that skate park. And like I say, we're just starting. So there's a lot of stuff being built, and it's going to be in the works for this entire Sankofa Village for Garfield Park. We are redesigning our community.
As we should.
We cannot do it without the youth, though. We have to have their voice at the table. So I need them to come into that Sankofa Center, fill out that information so that we will have their information and be able to input what they think and what they want to see in Garfield Park.
And so as far as all the different things you're speaking on, is it like a website, or like how can people continue to hear about the information that's coming out day to day as it starts happening?
Yes. Now if you go online at Garfield Park Rite to Wellness Collaborative.com, I believe that's what it is. Okay. You will definitely see our website, and you'll see some information there. And Rite is R-I-T-E, Rite to Wellness. But yes, we do have a website. We're now, as far as us posting everything and making sure that everyone knows about everything, I strongly advise you come to the actual center, because we're going to have a lot of visual, a lot of video. The place is, not only is it gorgeous and beautiful,
I'm gonna have to brag on it,
but all of the tenants are going to have something different, right? So right now, I don't have one place where you can see all of that. So I'm sure that's in the works. Like I said, we just opened last week, but week before last. But right now, I think coming in and seeing what everything like, every org has a different focus. So Equal Hope focus on women's maternity. Rush is gonna focus on mental health services. They're also gonna do other community services like cooking classes and things of that nature.
Ooh,
Erie,
okay.
the entire third floor, the entire upstairs, Erie is a medical center. You can go up there and get your teeth fixed. Go in there, their dental services. If you don't have insurance, you're still welcome to come in. They take walk-ins. So we're looking for everyone in the community to embrace their own wellness. If there's something that has to be done outside the facility, you can get a reference for it there at the facility. So no one's turned away when it comes to wellness. But when it comes to our community, very sensitive subject, are drugs and homelessness and things of that nature. We do not offer those services in that building, right? There are a lot of services and things in our community that do offer that, like 10 South Kedzie and a lot of places that you can go and receive those services. We will have ways to connect people to that from our building, but our building is for community members who are seeking wellness and really doing their best to attain that. And that's what our focus is. Even though we love everybody, we really focus it on these kids and on the seniors and on the people who need care.
Okay. And I see we down to this last minute. I told you it'd be going by really fast. Was that fast?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if there's one message you want to leave with the youth and the community watching it, what would you say?
Come to the center.
Okay.
Get involved. Find a way to organize your classroom, your block, your barbershop, whoever it is that you claim your West Side, you say it's the best side, do something about it. Talk about it. And then don't just talk. You're a West Sider, so what we do is we do.
Be about it.
So
okay.
That's my message to end. You say you're a West Sider, let's see.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much once again for being a guest on my show. We're going to have to do a part 2 because we didn't get through half of the questions that we were supposed to get through. But I definitely appreciate you taking time out your day to come out and be a guest on our show. I really appreciate the information you provided, and I would definitely be getting in contact about that gym and stuff because I'm going to have to come up there. But thank you, everyone, for watching, and see you guys next week. Same time, same station.